Welcome back to For the Fans.
Yep.
From the Fans.
We're doing a mock draft today.
Here with some off-season content. So we kind of had our top 10 prospects all laid out. You can check out those videos on TikTok.
Yep.
And now we're going to do a little mock draft going through picks 1 through 32 with who we think each team will select. We have it pretty straightforward here. Not really too many trades happening pre-combine, but after the combine, the next few days we'll narrow it down, maybe put some mock trades in for our next draft.
Yeah, this draft is pretty straightforward.
Yep.
It's like what the actual picks are. We didn't do any trades, so
Nope.
We're just keeping it straight up.
Should we kick
Yeah.
it off?
Yeah.
Let's kick
You
it
wanna
off.
start?
Yeah. So number 1 overall pick, I think as many people do. We have Caleb Williams going number 1. Again, I think we all know the talent Caleb has, the playmaking ability he has. Obviously, a lot of questions. What's going to happen with Justin Fields there? I think we both agree that they're going to move on from him. They're going to trade him.
100%. Yeah.
I think that having Caleb Williams right there at the number 1 spot, having that pick is
Yeah, you can't pass him up.
nah.
No way, especially after Justin Fields over the last couple of years. I think it's time to move on from him.
Exactly. You haven't gotten. I mean, he's gotten better, but you haven't gotten what you wanted. So
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
time to flip the script now, rebuild that offense, and bring in Caleb Williams, number 1 overall.
Yep.
Number 2.
Now we got the Commanders at number 2, and my pick for number 2 is Jaden Daniels from LSU. I think it's a pretty obvious pick here as well.
Yeah, I think
coming off the Heisman, and I think he's, I think he's the second best quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, I think you can argue Daniels or May.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't go wrong with Jaden Daniels or Drake May. I just think that he has just his elite playmaking ability.
Yeah, I think that's gonna jump off the page to Washington. And
Yeah.
they're gonna bring in. I think they're honestly at the end of the day just gonna fall in love with Jaden Daniels and his just
but he
elite,
can also run.
Yeah,
he can do everything.
The elite ability to throw the football just as well as he
Yeah.
can escape the pocket and run.
Mhm.
So
And it's not that Sam Howell had the worst year. It's
I mean
just,
that offensive line is also
their
terrible,
offensive line is
but,
terrible,
we're not selecting with the
but-
quarterbacks on the board. We're not taking an offensive lineman here. in
No,
top
I just
3,
think you
but-
have to go with the quarterback.
Exactly.
You got to make a change.
And I think Daniels is their guy there. Bring some
Yeah.
culture, bring some enthusiasm to Washington. I think Daniels brings that.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Moving on to number 3.
Number 3, this is where we have Drake May. Obviously, an argument to bring in Marvin Harrison here, a wide receiver, but I think
Yeah, you got to go
I
QB.
think the Mac Jones experiment is over with. The Bailey Zappi experiment is over with.
No, I
and
think it's a no-brainer.
And I think just the Patriots organization is going to love Drake May. I think he's the most prototypical quarterback in this draft. Size, arm strength,
Yeah.
athleticism. Can very easily be the best quarterback in this draft at the end of the
Easily,
day. Has all those intangibles.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see once everyone's out on the field.
He's shown a little
but-
more carelessness with the ball, but also played with a really bad offensive line in North Carolina. Clean that up and.
I think May has a lot of upside.
For sure.
I think he has a lot of
like
upside.
I said, I think he can easily.
He can easily go 2.
No,
You know,
exactly. I think he can easily end up being the best quarterback to come out of this draft.
Yeah.
So,
if it wasn't for Caleb, maybe he could go 1.
no,
You never know.
no,
But,
I 100% agree. So,
yeah.
number 4.
All right. Number 4, it's a pretty obvious pick here for the Cardinals. You got to go Maserati Marv.
Maserati Mo.
Marvin Harrison, especially if they're not going to bring back Hollywood Brown, and you need offensive weapons. And Marvin Harrison is a generational talent.
Yeah, there's no argument there. I mean,
I think he's a surefire top 10, maybe even top 5 receiver as soon as he steps on the field.
interesting.
At least top 10.
Yeah,
At
for
least
sure.
Top 10.
No,
Maybe not top 5, but not his rookie year.
No,
but we'll see.
He is
But
definitely
he's
generational.
generational.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
He
think it's a obvious pick here, number 4.
He will make an impact there for
Mm-hmm.
him and Kyler. He get something going right away.
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals
They-
have come out and said, Kyler is their guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in order to keep that guy going, you bring in Marvin Harrison, the best prospect in the draft if you're not in need of a quarterback. So
Yeah. He's the best non-quarterback in the draft.
Oh,
for
easily.
sure.
I mean,
I
I
don't
think-
think it's close.
in terms of looking at prospects in the draft, Marvin Harrison can 1A,
He
1B
can- yeah.
between him and Caleb there. Then number 5. So I went with an interesting pick here, which I really like. I love this guy. Joe Alt. Yes, the Chargers are going to skip on Brock Bowers here and bring in Joe Alt, all due to, I think, bringing in Jim Harbaugh. We all know his identity. He wants to run the football. He wants those big guys up front. And I feel like, Joe Alt just brings like that old school offensive lineman feel that Jim's going to fall in love with.
I think he's the best offensive lineman in this draft.
No, I agree. I mean,
there's a lot of great guys
in terms
coming
of
out,
the
but
balance between run and pass game. He does both extremely well.
Yeah.
And I think Jim's sitting there and looking at this guy saying, I want to run the football, but we also got to protect my guy Justin Herbert. And I think Joe Alt does that the best out of all these very talented offensive tackle, interior offensive lineman draft in general. But I like Joe Alt there as the first one of those guys off the board.
In addition to protecting Herbert.
Exactly.
Also,
yeah.
Got to protect the quarterback. Hopefully Herbert has a really good year with Harbaugh next year.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
He's quarterback's coach, so I think Herbert's just going to really turn up this next season.
He should. I don't think Jim's necessarily like a quarterback whisperer, but I think he figures out a way to build a team around his quarterback that leads to a lot of success.
They tend to have success under
Yeah.
Harbaugh, for sure.
Right.
I think as a team, I agree, yeah.
For sure.
Number 6, we got the Giants at number 6. This could be a little bit of a controversial pick. I just don't see how you pass on Malik Neighbors at 6. Yes, they need an offensive lineman, but I think Malik Neighbors, he's the second best wide receiver in this draft, arguably number 1 to some people, but I don't know. Do you have anything to say about the Giants at 6?
Going Malik Neighbors here, like you said, passing
Yeah.
up an elite playmaker like that.
Yeah.
But in terms of the Giants needing offensive line help, obviously we could go either way here. This is mock draft 101. So it's
I just find it hard. Like, it's just having Neighbors up there. I mean,
obviously the Giants need help in that receiver core, definitely.
they need a number 1 target.
But
they have a lot of other problems too, though.
They have quarterback problems, offensive line problems, playmaking problems. Saquon's probably on his way out, so I guess bringing in Malik Neighbors kind of makes sense to have that elite threat out there. But a few different directions the Giants can try and go with this pick. But for now, we got Malik Neighbors. All right, moving on to 7. We had the Titans taking Fuaga, offensive tackle. Again, loaded offensive tackle class. Titans need help on that line badly. If they believe Will Levis is their guy, that will go a long way to unlocking their potential. Also, Titans' new head coach, Brian Callahan, former offensive coordinator of the Bengals. I think he saw firsthand what pass protection and bad pass protection to do to your quarterback.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow obviously getting banged up over there for a couple years. So I think hopefully Callahan learned his lesson and doesn't try and take a playmaker here and, focus on that offensive line to protect your hopefully franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
So, yep.
At number 8 for the Falcons, I'm going Dallas Turner from Alabama.
Makes sense. I like it.
My reasoning for this is if Justin Fields makes his way down to Atlanta.
You think Justin Fields is on his way over?
I mean, it's definitely possible.
No,
100%, but
A lot of
listen,
talks,
Justin Fields had a lot of improvement over the last year, and I don't think it's all his fault that he's on his way out from Chicago.
Yep.
But, Atlanta can really use him.
For sure.
And if they get Justin Fields and don't have to rush for a quarterback in this year's draft, then I think Dallas Turner is definitely the fit. I think he's the best edge rusher in this draft.
Yeah, in terms of stopping
and I
the
think
run,
he's an
pass
immediate
rushing.
impact, and I think he's going to put up big numbers for sure.
Yeah, he'll make him
Defensive Rookie of the Year candidate.
for sure. Yeah, coming out of the draft, immediate impact, like you said, in the run, the pass game. He's a plug and play day one for sure, and the Falcons need that on the defensive end for sure. So, number 9, Rome Odunze. So we saw the Bears, number 1, get Caleb. They got DJ Moore. Their offensive line, you could argue, definitely needs some help, but they'll be middle of the road offensive line. And Odunze here, I love him. I think you could argue him over Neighbors.
Yeah, either way, they're all
pretty good offensive.
It's a great receiving
receiver.
class.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Good receiving class. So
can't go wrong.
Pairing him with DJ Moore, now you got Caleb Williams. Hopefully, the growing pains are minimal with Caleb Williams over there in that offense. Now your Jets.
My
What do you want?
Jets.
What do you want
At
over
number
there?
10. Listen, I don't want to go out in 4 plays again next year. Okay. We definitely need to protect Rodgers,
The 4-play special.
and we're gonna go the offensive lineman out of Penn State, Olu Fashanu. Okay. He is one of the best linemen in this draft, and I think he can really help us this year. We need to be able to protect our quarterback, open up holes for Brees Hall,
Free Brees.
and I think that's just our main focus in this draft.
No,
for
definitely.
sure.
I know there's
Maybe getting a wide receiver in free agency or something, but
there's some I know there's some mocks out there getting the Jets or playmaker, potentially Brock Bowers.
but I think the
potentially,
safe pick and the smart pick is definitely going alignment here. If I was a Jets fan, I mean I am a Jets fan, but if I wasn't, anyone else at home, I would be more than satisfied getting someone to help protect Rodgers.
I agree. I think you and Rodgers obviously.
And he's getting old.
No,
I mean,
he's
he's
getting
been
old.
old.
I mean, you want to
Yeah.
secure that tackle for years to come, not even
For sure. He
past
can be-
Rodgers.
He can
But
be a
obviously-
franchise tackle for us.
Yeah, but
So-
obviously you want Rodgers to have that protection
Mhm.
right here, right now, and he's
Yeah,
another
while we still have him for the next
another
maybe year or
plug
two.
and play offensive lineman that should make an impact for them
For sure.
definitely.
Also, we just released Tomlinson, so
Yeah,
Lincoln Tomlinson. So I don't know. I think we definitely need the offensive line help.
definitely. Number 11, Terrion Arnold. I love this pick here for the Vikings. Speed, size, ball hawk. I mean, he should come in and fit that Brian Flores system that everybody knows. Brian Flores is known for his man blitzes, his creativity. I think Arnold comes in there, is able to lock up opposing receivers and also make a big impact in the run game, come up and make tackles, if somebody gets loose over across the middle of the field. So I love that pick for the Vikings there. I think they're happy to get him at 11. So not much more to say there. Number 12, the Broncos are on the board.
Broncos country.
Russ ain't riding
Russ
no more.
Russ ain't cooking no more. This is kind of a tough pick, but I think that with the 3 quarterbacks going early in the draft, I think the Broncos might rush here and take a quarterback.
Yeah, this is I don't
think it's a bad play. I think going J.J. McCarthy at 12.
I don't think you could even necessarily say this a rush. Apparently, we've seen a lot of offseason reports coming out. J.J. McCarthy's climbing up draft boards.
Yeah, he's doing
a
well.
lot of scouts, a lot of organizations seem to be falling in love with him. This is also a part of the draft. You have like 11, 12, 13, Vikings, Broncos, Raiders. I think any of those can. J.J. McCarthy's in play there. It just seems like a good fit for the Broncos. Depends how high they are on him. If they view it as a reach, maybe they'll pass and go.
Listen, I also think that
with some
J.J.
defense
McCarthy. I think McCarthy might need a little bit of polishing.
Yeah,
A little bit of development. Might not happen after the first
I think
year.
we just saw him. We've seen it before. He was in a system in college where it was obviously run heavy, run first. But when he had to make throws, he made throws.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we'll see how they unlock that at the next level for sure. All right,
number
what do
13.
we got? Number 13. Oh, we had Byron Murphy here. I don't know. This might come as an interesting pick for some people, but I think Byron Murphy being one of the best interior defensive linemen in the draft, I think probably is the best interior defensive lineman in the draft. I think he gives that instant impact, pairing him with Max Crosby out there. We know Max Crosby's a freak. And I think Alec Pierce wants to build that mentality, defensive first. Obviously wants to compete with his division rival over there, the Kansas City Chiefs.
More people send after.
Try and rattle Mahomes and kind of build their roster to be able to compete. I mean, now even with the Chargers, Jim, and you see how the Broncos turn out. But I think Byron Murphy is popping off the board here for Alec Pierce and those Raiders to make an impact on the interior of that defensive line right away.
Yeah. All right, number 14 for the Saints. I got J.C. Latham.
I like
offensive lineman. He's another guy that's climbing up draft boards.
I just feel like it's interesting. Like the Saints, like what do they need?
Yeah, I was kind of stuck on this pick, because they could go a receiver, get another young guy out there.
They could go any direction.
Yeah, I don't think they're in
Saints
that
can
bad
take
of
who they want.
Yeah, I don't think they're in that bad of shape compared to a lot of other teams in the NFL. But
And like we touched upon, the offensive tackles are very good in this draft. So
yeah, I just think it's
getting
hard to
another
pass up on some of
top-notch
these
guy.
guys. These guys can all be franchise players for your team.
I think offensive tackles. I mean, how many have we drafted so far? Three.
Something like that. Yeah, I think so.
There's 5 in the first round that are probably going to go
Easily.
And you can argue. I mean, it's honestly team choice here.
Yeah, I just like Latham. He can play on both sides. He can play left side, right side.
And he's a big dude that can move.
He's great movement.
Yeah, so.
And he's a very versatile lineman, and I think that can help the Saints a lot.
Yep, I like it.
That's why I went Latham.
I like it.
Yeah.
15, Brock Bowers.
Dog.
Brock Bowers is one of our favorite prospects in the draft.
Sure.
Everybody, top 5 prospect for everybody. We have him, I guess, falling to 15 here, if that's a fall.
I mean,
obviously,
I'm sure some people have him going up closer.
I mean, he could go to the Chargers at 5 very easily. But I love him at 15 here.
I can
with the
see
Colts.
him in Indy jersey, man.
I love him at 15 here with the Colts. Anthony Richardson in that Shane Steichen offense, the RPO game.
He'd be a great fit for
hitting him
the
over
Colts.
the field, over the middle of the field. Just playmaking ability. Pittman's a free agent. I think they're gonna probably end up bringing him back, but I think they need. I think they need
Pittman's
another
a solid receiver.
They need another elite playmaker. I mean, you can line him up in the slot, right at the tight end position, wherever you want. And Brock Bowers, he's ready to play NFL football for the past 2 years.
For sure.
Him and Anthony Richardson.
He's been
should
dominant
definitely.
in college.
Him and Anthony Richardson will definitely develop a quick rapport there and get cooking early.
All right.
What you got?
Number 16, Seahawks. Another interesting pick. I went Troy Fatanu to Seattle, another lineman. A lot of linemen in this draft.
Yeah.
But I just think that boosting up their interior
A lot of talk
offensive
about
line.
Fatanu moving to guard, too. I think he played a lot of tackle at Washington. But
he was mainly a tackle, but they said he can move to guard.
Yeah,
He's
I think a lot of NFL
also.
teams will like him as guard, and I think I mean Washington staying in Seattle there.
Yeah, it's a good fit. It's a good fit.
Culture fit for sure.
Yeah, and he's a great lineman. It'll help protect the quarterback in Seattle. Gino. You can get Kenneth Walker going. It'll just help. I just think it overall help their offense. I don't have much to say about Seattle's pick right here at 16, but I think that sums it up pretty good.
I think they bring in a good, like we said, fit there, bolster that offensive line. A lot of bolstering offensive lines.
A lot of it. Yeah.
17.
Most teams need it though.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. 17. Quinyon Mitchell, another corner. Love this guy. He's climbed. Another guy that making an impact early, climbing draft boards. Obviously at the Senior Bowl, I know he was making some noise out there, locking up some big receivers coming out. Size, speed, athleticism. He's got all the intangibles you want. I think you pair him. Obviously, there's different directions each team could go, but I think you pair him with. I think they got Tyson Campbell over there, corner solid. I think you pair those guys up, solidify that Jag secondary pretty quick there, and I like that for them.
I love
at
the
17.
Pick.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we got it 18.
18, Cincinnati. Guess what? Another lineman.
I think
Amarius Mims. You got to protect Burrow. He's getting hammered year after year.
Yeah,
I just think that this is like the most ideal pick for them.
I don't think there's a question here. I think Bengals go offensive lineman.
Yeah,
Best offensive tackle.
he's a very physical tackle.
I don't know the whole Bengals offensive line deal, free agents, tackles.
Yeah, but we never know. But
I feel like
for our
they.
mock, I would 100% think that they need to get a lineman here at this pick. And I don't think it's a question, really. They just got to protect the quarterback, man. Burrow out for the year this year. I mean, this past year, he was out for the year.
Obviously, it seems like this year was more kind of freak injuries than him just getting hit all the time.
Yeah, but it all comes into play.
It's been a theme. I feel like the Bengals.
It all comes into play.
The first year, Burrow went down. Then they drafted Jamar Chase. Everybody thought they were going to offensive lineman there. They obviously made a couple free agent signings to really improve it. Still was not good.
No.
So here, I think if they like their guys that they have on the board, and this is one of the tackles they like, they're going to go for him. Definitely.
Yeah.
19 Rams. This was another pick. Could have been, I think, more of an interior offensive lineman here. But they get Latu at a UCLA. Pass rusher. I think he's one of the best pure pass rushers in the draft. Again, he had a lot of injury concerns at UCLA, but I believe that he can help really set that edge.
I think he's an immediate.
Struggled a little in the run game, but a lot
yeah.
of pure pass rushers in college, you see that struggle in the run game a little.
But once he makes the transition to the NFL,
Exactly.
Especially with that Rams defense getting old, Aaron Donald getting old.
Yeah, exactly. So I think
it
he
would
can
make an immediate impact
yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
Rams obviously have other questions interior offensive linemen, corners, but we liked Latu kind of sitting right there. And we'll see how things shape up over the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then 20.
20, your Pittsburgh Steelers.
I
I got Jackson Powers going.
I love Jackson Powers Johnson. As a Steelers fan, I couldn't be happier with this pick. Interior offensive lineman, probably the best interior offensive lineman in the draft. Just a bulldozer. I think he played a little guard in college. I think the Steelers would. I think we just released Mason Cole, which was our starting center for the past 2 years. So I think the Steelers definitely got their eyes on Jackson Powers Johnson here.
For sure.
Seems like a Mike Tomlin guy, and obviously the Rams can maybe snag him. I can even see the Steelers trying to move up a couple spots here.
Yeah.
To get there.
He can definitely go earlier than 20.
That's what I'm saying. There's a couple teams like in 16, 17, 18, 19 that have interior offensive line questions. So I can honestly see the Steelers trying to jump up maybe with the Jags and select Jackson Powers Johnson before the Bengals or the Rams can get him. But yeah, I love that pick, and I hope that happens. Every mock draft I have, I'll be drafting Jackson Powers Johnson for the Steelers. So
yeah. Number 21, Dolphins.
Oh, Jared Versay. Is that how you say it? Versay?
Probably Versay.
I think it's Versay.
Yeah.
Florida State guy. He played he was very well at Florida State. Another guy, I think pure pass rusher. I think you could argue him or Latu.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're both very dominant pure pass rushers. Both struggled in the run game a little, but again, I think Versay. Maybe we should have put him at 19.
I mean, either way,
as the first edge rusher off the board.
Yeah.
But I think the Dolphins love that pick, just being able to rotate him in. I think Van Wickle's a free agent over there at outside linebacker. They got Bradley Chubb, just pair him. I think the Dolphins feel like they're a few pieces away from bringing in somebody that can make an impact on that defense, and I feel like he will be great for them.
Yep. Eagles in number 22. I got Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson. I think this is an obvious pick here for the Eagles to improve their secondary.
Like it.
You saw towards the end of the year that their secondary was getting blown up.
Terrible.
And there's a lot of questions on that
Slay's
defense. Yep, Darius Slay's old.
I mean, he's still playing, but they
you
need
know,
somebody opposite of him.
Bradbury, they're just
Bradbury's bad.
Yeah, they need improvement on the secondary, and I think Wiggins is a great pick in this spot for the Eagles.
I like it. Just long, athletic corner.
He's a very lengthy corner,
and
I think he would just make an immediate impact for them.
Yeah, good ball hawk right there.
Starter from day one.
Get some turnovers in that secondary
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I like it.
Yep.
23 Texans, Edgerrin Cooper. I love this pick. Absolutely love this pick. I think he could maybe go a little earlier to the Seahawks. I told you I liked Mike McDonald's over there. That just seems like his guy for the Seahawks. But here we have him falling to the Texans at 23, and DeMeco Ryans, linebacker background, former linebacker, can't pass up on him here. Sideline to sideline, instinctive, explosive.
Yeah.
Really not much to say. I love my linebackers myself, and this guy is somebody that jumps off the board. And
I think the Texans are going to be flying around next year.
Yeah, and
especially if Tank Dell comes back looking 100%.
And I think this guy would fit so well into that defense. Just put him in the middle and let him do his thing. Kind of be like the Fred Warner that DeMeco had in San Fran, of course.
Number 24, the Cowboys. Another interesting pick here. I think depending on what happens in free agency and who moves from Dallas, I think you go the offensive lineman here.
Like it.
I have Jordan Morgan going to Dallas. I think that he's a versatile offensive lineman. I think he would help. I think he would make an immediate
Tyron
impact.
Smith's a free. I think they're talking about bringing him back.
They just got. There's a lot of question marks going on in Dallas.
So, and I think Dallas has shown they want their offensive line to be good. They've
of course they always have. They've always had a great offensive line. So I think that this is the pick here, Jordan Morgan.
Yeah. 25, Packers are on the board. Cooper DeJean. I think this guy is an absolute playmaker in the secondary. Could play corner, could play safety. I think the Packers will. You got that offensive taken care of. It seems Jordan Love and the boys. Another team that can go offensive lineman.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot of offensive
I think
line.
here they just get an immediate. Like I said, I'm not saying lockdown corner. I was saying just playmaker in the secondary. The excellent blitzer too as well. Just to complement Jair, who is the lockdown corner for them in the secondary, to make some more splash plays over there in Green Bay.
Love it. Bucks. I got Chop. Oh, sorry. I got Chop Robinson, edge rusher from Penn State. With Shaq Barrett not being in Tampa anymore,
Yeah, time
I
to
think
move on.
this is a pretty obvious pick here. Get a young, explosive edge rusher.
Another thing here, could have seen the Bucks maybe getting a receiver if there was somebody they really liked.
Yeah, it's possible
we
because
both
Mike.
think Mike's on
I
his
think
way
Mike's
out.
on his way out. Yep.
Should be interesting there. Baker and
You-
Mike
I
seem
think-
to have a little connection, but
I think you can go either way.
Bucks-
You can go.
I don't think want to pay both of them. So
No, I mean you either go Chop Robinson or another edge rusher, or you can go, maybe a Donnie Mitchell from Texas, the receiver from Florida State. What's his name again? Do you remember?
Keen Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman.
Yeah.
It's a. You never know. We'll see what happens. I guess it depends on where Mike Evans ends up.
That's true.
Yeah.
They can definitely go receiver.
But I love Chop at 26 for the Bucks. He might need some polishing, but once
I think there's a lot of pure
there's a lot of
pass-
athletes, man.
pass rushers
Pure
in
pass
this draft,
rushers.
but they're definitely
Lot of,
see how they adjust to the run games and the
Yeah, a lot
the
of raw
block shedding
talent
of
too.
in the NFL.
Yeah.
27, interesting pick here. We have Zach Frazier going to the Cardinals, interior offensive lineman. Cardinals going back-to-back, 2 first-round picks, staying with the offensive end of the ball here. I think they definitely need help on defense, but I
Yeah.
think they love the ability to bring in Frazier, a bully, and I think he plays center, could probably definitely play guard.
Mhm.
I think we'll probably play center for the Cardinals where he's drafted. Very strong in the run game. They still got James Conner for another year. You got Kyler back there now, help protect him a little, and maybe give him some time to get the ball to Marvin Harrison. So there you go. Invest in their offense and build around Kyler and focus on filling some holes on the defensive end in later rounds or through some free agent moves. So I like it.
And number 28 for the Bills. You can go either way with this. I went with the receiver, and I went with Brian Thomas Jr., the other LSU stud. I just think that with Gabe Davis leaving, you got to help Stephon Diggs out there, and he's a big target. He's a big body. You can throw it up to him. I think he would make an immediate impact for the Bills. I think it gives another vertical deep threat out there for Josh Allen. Leaves Diggs wide open. Diggs can create more space.
Yeah, I
just
think
it's a
Josh
good
Allen
fit.
would like that big body.
Yeah,
that big play
especially
threat.
in the red zone. Just throw a little
Him,
fade.
You got Diggs, Kincaid, and him. Give Josh.
Yeah, I think it
3
spreads the field out a lot more
three
for them.
Three very good weapons, like you said. Gabe Davis.
Because Gabe
is
Davis
gone.
was kind of just like a vertical player. He
What
just
was
runs
Gabe
straight.
Davis? He was valuable, I guess.
No, but he was just a straight verts player. Getting another guy like this, like Brian Thomas. I think it's just a good fit for them.
I like it.
Honestly.
I like it. 29, the Lions. Dan Campbell and the Lions. Picking deep for the first time in a few years. Down at 29, we have Ennis Rakestraw. I really hope I'm saying his name right. Am I saying his name right? Do we know? But this is a player
no clue.
This is a player, watching some of his game
Mhm.
and doing some research. I think the Lions are going to fall in love with this guy. Physical, rangy corner, flies around the field. Obviously, the Lions need help in that secondary. A lot of talk about them going Zach Frazier here, who got stolen a couple picks before. So I think they're just going to love this guy who can come up in the run game, make big hits, and obviously have very good ball skills and play some press coverage too for them over there. I think Dan Campbell's going to love this guy at 29. Could
It's a
could
great
end
pick
up
at
going
29.
higher.
Great
Depends how
pick at
teams value
29.
him.
Yeah.
I mean, I love him.
Um,
I think he's one of the better corners. I love a good physical corner who can play some press coverage. So I think the Lions are going to love him there at 29.
okay. At number 30, the Ravens. I got them going. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I'm gonna go. Is Jerzon Newton?
There you go. I think you killed it.
I think I killed it.
I think you got it. I think you nailed it.
We'll see.
I think you nailed
But
it.
he's out of Illinois. A little bit of an undersized D
Defense.
tackle,
Yeah.
but he's explosive, man, and he makes big plays. He stuffs the run, and
Got to focus on stuff.
I
in
think
that
just
run a little.
building, you're like the trenches, man. Building up the trenches, defense and
I like
offense.
it, especially in the AFC North football. You got
Yeah,
the
it's all
Steelers wanting to
smash mouth
ground and
football,
pound. You want
so-
the Browns trying to ground and pound.
Yeah.
Bengals aren't trying to ground and pound, but
Nah, but it's a lot of
Yeah.
it's tough football out there
Exactly,
in the
I
AFC North.
like it.
So I like the defensive tackle
I
here.
think he fits well there.
Yeah.
Definitely. 31, 49ers getting Kool-Aid McKinstry. I love this pick for the 49ers. I think Kool-Aid can possibly fall to the second round if they don't like him here. But just a corner opposite of Travarius Ward. We saw some struggles with that pass defense late in the season where that opposite corner could not cover anything.
Yeah, they had some issues in the middle of last year.
So
for
I think
sure.
I think they 49ers here looking at Kool-Aid are happy,
just
very happy.
boasting up their defense.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Like, just get some more dogs. out
Obviously,
there.
talks they can go a little interior alignment, but we saw two of those guys come off the board.
Mhm.
And yeah, I love Kool-Aid here to play opposite. And obviously, 49ers have one of the best defenses, and I think he plugs in right there and plays some good football.
Yeah, I love the pick. And now the reigning Super Bowl champions,
Super Bowl champs.
Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is pretty obvious on where I'm going with it. I'm taking Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver out of Texas.
Makes sense.
I mean, listen, like a lot of drop balls this year. The receivers struggling.
Somebody, you know,
Kelsey only getting older. You know, we need answers.
I like it.
And I think that for Mahomes, he needs another threat out there.
Donnie Mitchell, he's a bigger receiver too, right?
Yeah, he's
Like
a little bit. Yeah, he's a bigger receiver.
I like that.
I just think he needs
Compliment
a true
Rashi
number one wide
Yeah.
receiver out there to complement Travis Kelsey
and Rashi.
and
I
Rashi.
like Rashi.
Yeah, Rashi.
Rashi
Yeah, but you
Rice.
got 1 and 2. Now you can pair
No,
them out.
exactly. Yeah.
You got Kelsey,
Still
know,
got him.
coming out,
I
too.
like it, obviously.
and I think
Um,
listen, if the Chiefs get some big time players on the offensive side of the ball, you know, they can maybe 3P. Who knows? You
3P.
know,
yeah, that'd be
it's
interesting.
very very tough, obviously. But
the
I
Chiefs,
I
obviously,
mean, I think they'll be there regardless.
I like the move. I
Um,
like the move. If they don't bring in like a Mike Evans, like someone like that, which I don't know.
That's
if they,
true. Also, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with the free agency.
I don't know if the Chiefs want to do that. Like, you want to bring in another old receiver who's
No.
going to play 1 to 2 years for you.
Listen, if I had the 32nd pick in the draft and
Yeah.
I can get a big time receiver,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go big time receiver.
I like it.
I'm not gonna
Obviously, the Chiefs
get a 30-year-old receiver.
No, exactly.
you know,
I think the Chiefs have some questions on that defense. Ladarius Sneed is walking
for sure.
Well, I don't know if he's
Also,
walking.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like they've got to pay at least one of them.
Yeah.
And I think it might end up being Ladarius
But
Sneed.
Chris Jones wants the bag. I think
But-
Ladarius Sneed's gonna stay.
But Chris Jones, I mean, even Andy Reid's like talked about him. Like they love him.
yeah, I'm
and
sure.
what he
but
brings to that defense.
I
So.
think
could be
they're
interesting.
I think they're a little bit like in doubt that he's gonna stay though. I don't know.
Yeah, but if they can
But
end
we'll
up,
see if they can keep
if he
him.
wants
keep
to
him.
stay and they pay
For
him
sure. Yeah.
somewhat what he wants on a shorter deal maybe, and they let Ladarius Sneed walk, and then they look to draft a corner right here. So
Mhm.
a lot of different directions. All these teams could go in the first round. Obviously, it's pre-combine. Obviously, once the combine hits, there'll be more reports. We'll have the
Do an
numbers, the
updated mock,
workouts.
you know? Do an updated mock.
So we'll definitely
after
have
the combine.
we'll definitely have an updated mock after the combine.
Yep.
Maybe some trades involved. We'll have a better idea. Maybe by then Justin Fields will be with Atlanta, like
Maybe.
he called.
I mean, listen, Justin Fields, he's going somewhere. So,
Yeah.
so I think Atlanta can be a good fit. You know, I'm
or
not
they
sold.
keep him. We got to reevaluate the whole thing. Caleb
I don't
going
know.
somewhere else.
Where do you think Justin Fields can go if it's not Atlanta?
Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
What about Russ? No.
I mean, there's a lot.
There's a lot of
There's
questions.
so many. So the quarterback carousel. begins.
Fields can go to easily. Yeah, Fields can go to Pittsburgh.
Fields go to Pittsburgh. Kirk Cousins go to Pittsburgh. Like, there's so many questions. There's.
Yeah, I think it's a little early
um,
to tell.
I think this is a good time though. Obviously, combine starts today. Say Thursday. What's today?
No, today's Wednesday. Tomorrow the combine starts.
But the combine's about to
Mm-hmm.
go on, and like we said, we'll figure out a lot more the next coming days and see how it goes. But that was NFL mock draft number 1.